What's up, curious youngsters? If we keep wasting time on pointless activities or watching endless videos, we just get strange YouTube recommendations. Why not spend a few minutes on Mr. Curiosity, learning instead? 30 totally epic facts that you'll forget in about 10 minutes, but these aren't just any facts. They're going to leave you completely amazed. For this and much more, these are 30 things you didn't know 5 minutes ago. 1. McDonald's has over 30,000 franchises worldwide. While some things are consistent, there are differences by country. And in the Philippines, there's a very strange menu where you can order a plate of McSpaghetti with fried chicken under the name McDo2. To refer to a group of animals, we use different collective nouns depending on the species. A group of lemurs is uniquely called a conspiracy. Imagine lemurs plotting together. Now that's a real conspiracy. Very mysterious. King Julian III. Sand can act like both a solid and a liquid. Did you know that introducing air through fluidization can create something this unusual? Yes, you're seeing it correctly. Air is rising through the container, no trick involved. And as it separates the sand molecules, the friction decreases and it takes the form of a liquid. 4. The Statue of David is, without a doubt, one of the most famous sculptures in all of history. But did you know that during World War II, to prevent it from being destroyed by enemy bombings, it was covered with a layer of bricks? 5. Google is the search engine par excellence, and besides having all the answers, it also has some pretty curious Easter eggs. One of these occurs when we type American Standard Code for Information Interchange, which means crooked in English. When we search for this, we'll see our screen tilt oddly. That was really weird, sir. Google, yes. And for years, we've been imagining a future full of robots and artificial intelligence in every corner of our lives. Did you know engineers created generated photos, a website with over 100,000 images of people who don't exist a few years ago? But rather, these were generated by an artificial intelligence program. 7. The different species of the same animal can really surprise us. For bears, Malayan bears are omnivores and eat anything, but they especially like ants and termites. This leads them to develop a tongue over 30 centimeters long, letting them attack anthills effectively. 8. In castaway movies, the protagonists always survive on coconut water. Did you know this liquid can substitute for a plasma transfusion in emergencies? It contains similar minerals and was widely used on the Pacific Front in World War II. 9. We know that within a colony there are different types of ants, and each one has a specific function. But if there's one that really caught my attention, it's the turtle ant soldier. This curious insect uses its rounded head to block the entrance to the anthill. 10. That tiny blue dot in the photo is our planet Earth. Yes, that's what we look like from far away in space, called the pale blue dot. This photo of the planet was taken in 1990 by the Voyager 1 space probe from a record 6 billion kilometers away. 11. Some animals or insects have large teeth or claws that help them hunt their prey, while others, like the orchid mantis, prefer to use camouflage in order to feed. This insect is so fascinating and blends so well with orchid flowers that it becomes nearly invisible. Great camouflage, Miss Mantis Doge. War brings out the most creative attack and defense ideas. And a very curious technique to defend certain factories or important buildings from bombings was the use of camouflaged tarps that made a factory look like a simple rural area. 13. Most people live around 80 years, but some insects only last a few weeks. But did you know that queen ants can live up to 30 years? Yes, while the worker ants only live 2 or 3 years. 14. In the United Kingdom, in an effort to keep the streets cleaner, a company called Balogbin had the great idea to create cigarette butt bins with questions and voting, which makes people, instead of throwing cigarette butts on the street, put them there. 15. Nature is always surprising us, and in this case, we came across the killer insect from Malaysia. Yes, the name alone is cause for concern. This bloodthirsty insect has the strange habit of feeding on the inside of ants and then sticking their skeletons to its own body. This creates much stronger, scarier armor. Cue the shocked owl. Let's go, 16. Despite globalization, some countries still have Aboriginal peoples or tribes isolated from the modern world. And the island of Papua New Guinea is one of the most well-known countries because of the number of tribes it has. The Azaro tribe in Goroka is especially fascinating. And this tribe is known for having their bodies painted white and for using it in most of their rituals. Clay masks that many would find terrifying. 17 in 1992. A cargo ship from Hong Kong to New York lost containers in a storm, including one with 28,000 rubber duckies. Curiously, for years, these duckies appeared on thousands of beaches worldwide. 18. At the Olympics, the top 3 athletes get bronze, silver, and gold medals. The bronze medal is made almost entirely of bronze, the silver medal is made of silver, and the gold medal is not. It's not made of gold. Gold medals haven't been solid gold since 1912, and now we have to settle for 27% silver and just a few grams of gold 19. Domino's Pizza is one of the world's most famous pizza chains, but did you know that just a year after opening its first pizzeria, one of the founders, named James Monaghan, didn't see much of a future in the business and sold his share for a Volkswagen Beetle. The problem is that 38 years later, those shares were sold for $1 billion. Good deal, James 20. The almost indiscriminate expansion of human beings has caused thousands of species to disappear. And one of the most targeted species in recent years has been tigers, which are interesting because there are more tigers in captivity than in the wild. Nearly 20,000 tigers live in captivity worldwide, but fewer than 5,000 remain in the wild. Natural 21? One of the most interesting facts among the 30 things is strange phobias. And in this case, we come across metrophobia, which is the irrational fear of poetry. Yes, as odd as it sounds, people with this condition know poems are a kind of writing. Only very intellectual people can understand that, so the verses terrify others just to consider them. Elephants are the largest land animals that exist, and they weigh tons. Although they can't jump or gallop due to their size, they can still swim remarkably well. Yes, these beasts swim in the same way a dog might swim. They use their big trunk to breathe underwater. How curious. Boom Boom 23. Although most birds are peaceful and only eat seeds or fruits from the other side, we also find scavenger birds among them. Some, like the Himalayan griffon vulture, display fake eyes to intimidate other animals. The hollows on its chest look like oversized eyes, scaring off anything that approaches. 24. Depending on the sport, games can last minutes, hours, or even days. In 1939, during the English cricket team's South Africa tour, it was played for 9 days straight, and the English team had to abandon the game, because if they didn't, they were going to miss the ship that would take them back. 25. Most trains run on tracks far from cities, but in Thailand, that's not always true. Mae Klong Market, set up on train tracks, operates as trains pass 7 to 10 times daily. Customers and street stall owners must move aside for the train to pass. Though it seems unbelievable, there have never been any accidents at this dangerous-looking crossing. 26. In recent years, people have started to better understand the delicate situation the planet is in. And we find that in the city of Toronto, in Canada, there is a supermarket called Unboxed Market, which was recognized as the only zero-waste supermarket in the world, since it is responsible for selling all products in an eco-friendly way, without bags or packaging that could pollute the planet. 27. After years and years of evolution, species managed to develop the best characteristics in order to survive in the environment they live in. Golden plover chicks have an amazing trait. Just days old, their plumage camouflages them perfectly. In the vegetation near the nest, 28, on Incredible News, we meet Ravi Onga, an Indian photographer who lives in a camera-shaped house with his wife and 3 children, Kano, Nico, and Epson. Are you crazy? Ravi? 29. A major issue for societies is political agreement. In Germany, the parliament building features a walkable glass dome. This also lets people see and hear the meetings inside. This was done to remind politicians that government must be transparent and people come first. 30. With millions of animal and plant species, it was obvious we'd encounter strange things. Here, as if it were a Guinness record. In nature, the Wolfia ariza is known as the planet's smallest plant. This aquatic plant, under a millimeter wide and weighing less than a gram, is typically found in Malaysia and Australia. And with that so satisfying and attractive appearance it has, let me tell you that it's edible and has as many nutrients as soy, so it's used as food. Before I go, let me say hello to a few subscribers. First, a big greeting to Angel Munoz and also to Jacqueline Diaz Villa. Another big hello to Blake Autumn and another greeting to Alejandro Peguero. I send big greetings to Brolia Santiago, Nuri Bernal, and Diego Aldunate. Greetings to Fernanda Altamirano and a big hello to Andros87. And the last greeting goes to the legend Lugita Zuzan. Now leave your like, comment anything you want, probably anything you want. Don't forget to share the channel and video with your friends. So now, kisses plus this uncuriosity. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any new videos. I'm Uncuriosity.